To the Bluegrass Sports Network. I am Bo Craycraft, joined again tonight by Brad Thomas. We're back at Great Crossing High School at this wonderful, beautiful complex for boys District 41 soccer tonight. We're going to begin, Brad, with a rematch from a game you and I covered earlier in the year between Western Hills and Frankfort High.
You know, it was a spectacular game played at Western Hills High School that had a lot of strange plays. We had a red card early. We had a substitute keeper. We went to PKs, and it was all Frankfort and PKs.
And, you know, these are crosstown rivals. We've done a couple of those games this year. You did Western Hills, Franklin County.
That's right.
I did Frankfort High, Franklin County. They've all been one-goal games, so we generally expect these games to come down to the wire.
Yeah, and you know, it's going to be the team that comes out first, looking to score, that's going to make a difference in this game. I think the first one on the board is going to change the tactics very quickly for the opponent.
I agree. Our nightcap involves the 1 seed Great Crossings. They're going to play Franklin County.
And I think Franklin County is a different team. Their record is not what they would want it to be, but I can tell you that in talking with the coaching staff after the Western Hills game, they gained a lot of confidence, and they're expecting to have a good show tonight against Great Crossing.
Well, we've got about 3 minutes on the clock. Also wanted to just make note, you know, last night we had a late cancellation for the late game last night between the girls. The coaches agreed to play that game, so they're going to kick off at 6 o'clock as well. Unfortunately, we can't be there, but we're going to try to get updates and keep you guys in the loop online here. So, Brad, I'm excited.
I am too.
Both games.
This is what the season comes down to. District tournament against a district rival from your hometown.
And
doesn't get better.
And as you can tell, it's a beautiful night, perfect for soccer. We're going to take a couple quick breaks. We'll be right back, highlight a few key players, and also look to get this game kicking. Thanks for joining us on the Bluegrass Sports Network.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
The people of Frankfort are ready for growth in our community. We need strong leaders who can help bring real changes to our city. Kyle Thompson is ready for the challenge. He's a strong supporter of law enforcement and wants to provide proper funding for our police and emergency services to reduce crime rates. Kyle also plans to work in cooperation with the county to revitalize our parks. It is important to provide for the well-being of all of our Frankfort families. Kyle is ready to take on all of this and more. Make your voice heard and vote Kyle Thompson for City Commission.
Hi, I'm Sarah Neely. I'm the financial manager at Mill Ridge Farm. Whenever you transition financial institutions, there's a tremendous amount of paperwork involved. Traditional banks streamlined this paperwork, and they just made it very simple. Traditional Bank is a locally owned bank that allows us to operate on an international platform. They make my life better, they make my job easier, and they make Mill Ridge a better place.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Bluegrass Sports Network. As you can see, the fellas are lined up. We're about ready to get this game underway. Looks like Nathan Neal and the Frankfort High Panthers.
Got our national anthem coming up.
Yeah, we'll take a break here just momentarily to stick with us as they finish the national anthem.
And we're about ready to start off this battle of crosstown rivals in the 41st District Boys Soccer Tournament. Bo, it's going to be an exciting game. The last one was a victory that went to Frankfort in penalty kicks. So we'll see what we can do in regulation time to start this one off.
That's right. Went into penalty kicks. Extra time wasn't enough, and Frankfort High had two of their districts go into penalty kicks. They lost last week to Great Crossings.
All of our district games in the 41st District this year in the regular season were all tight battles with the exception of just one. And, as we look at the parity across this division or this district, I think you're going to see some really tight games tonight between the matchup here at 6 o'clock and also our matchup at 8:30 between Great Crossing and Franklin County High School. In talking with all the coaches, I think they're all ready for this district tournament, and you may see some differences in formation and personnel as they make adjustments for this district tournament.
They're going through the starting lineups real quick. You want to run through?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll take the Western Hills starting lineup. We're going to see them in a different formation than typical. Usually they've been playing a 4-3-3 setup, but tonight they're going to go with a little different formation under Coach Mangum. It's going to be a 4-4-1-1, a little bit more exotic of a formation. They're going to start with Meyer in the back, the senior Matthew Meyer, who has provided some great goalkeeping responsibilities for the Wolverines this year. He's going to be having that right back will be Baylor Brooker, a junior. His center backs will be Josh Lumpkins, a junior, Stefan Rudich, a senior, and the left back will be Zach Hurst, a senior. In the midfield, we're going to see Jack Caldwell, who had that great goal against Great Crossing just on Saturday night, will be holding down the holding midfield with Chinmay Tope, a junior. On the wing on the right, we'll have Lucas Nance. In the 10 slot, we'll have Raphael Fricker. On the left wing, we'll have Wade Sutley. And up top, we'll have Casey Smith. You want to run through the lineup you got there for Frankfort?
I will, but first, you heard the whistle and you see the ball moving. We're underway here in Game 1 of Night 2. Boys 41 District, Frankfort High versus Western Hills. And we'll get to those Panthers here in just a second as you see the ball roll out. Yeah, they use a 4-3-3, so a little bit more traditional setup than what you talked about Coach Mangum going with tonight. This is an early chance here from Western Hills.
Lucas Nance trying to center the ball there, and Frankfort able to hold off the Western Hills challenge there and trying to turn around their offense.
The back four for the Panthers consists of Preston Barber. He's on the far side right now. You got Ethan Carpenter, who's a senior, on the near side at the left and right. The center backs are Ashton Austin and Henry Higbee, which is a senior.
It's a nice play by Matthew Meyer to keep the ball away from the Frankfort Panther attack there. It looks like it has Adam Gritton on the end of that one, trying to push something home. Adam Gritton, in the years of watching him play at both Franklin County and now at Frankfort, always seems to have a nose for the ball.
He does, and he's supported there by the midfield three trio of McLean Barber. He plays that holding, what we call a 6. Ty Hancock is the box-to-box number 8, and then Ethan Vermillion, who you're going to hear us call quite a bit tonight, is the attacking number 10. And then up top, you just mentioned Adam Gritton. He's on the left side. On the opposite of him is Tyron Reynolds, and then senior Nathan Neal is playing the number 9 center forward position.
Yeah, you talked about Vermillion. The offense for Frankfort runs through him almost exclusively. He is the distributor, he is the scorer, and he's really the engine that makes them go.
I didn't mention him, but senior Sam Yoakum starts in the pipes for Frankfort High. He's a 3-year starter.
And when these two met up the first time, anytime a keeper can claim a win in a penalty kick shootout, you have a little bit of a swagger to yourself.
And he made a save. You know, Western Hills missed a couple, but he also made a save to put a bow tie on that. So he will bring a little bit of confidence.
Wade Sutley for the Wolverines in white tonight against the orange and blue. New kits for Frankfort High. It's a very sporty addition to their wardrobe. And
they just got those last week due to COVID. There was a little bit of a shipping delay. This is Chimney Tope looking for Nance.
And you see that Frankfort defense really stacking up that midfield. Unable to penetrate that with a pass, Tope. I think the secret for Western Hills tonight is, can they get Lucas Nance and Wade Sutley on both wings deep toward the corner flags to try to drive the ball back for some shots at the top of the 18. I think that's really going to be their bread and butter tonight. You know, we talk about Western Hills. They come in with a record of 7-3-2. That's the best record Chad Mangum has had in his years at Western Hills, and it's been a good year. The only thing that if he could change would be injuries. He's lost Lincoln Maddox, who was a center back for the first half of the season, one of their star seniors, and he was tore an ACL in a game late, and it's one of those things that you hate to see those types of injuries, but the Wolverines have fought back, and you see Stefan Rudich, who's playing the ball there, has taken Lincoln Maddox's spot, and the Wolverines have played well in this new lineup. And see Wade Sutley on the ball now trying to make something happen with a gang of Panthers swarming him there at midfield.
Yeah, we talked about Maddox being gone Saturday night when we were here to see the final regular season game, final district game here between the Wolverines and the Warhawks of Great Crossing. Logan Maddox is a big loss, but we talked about how well Stefan Rudick had played in that position. And they've moved Josh Lumpkins over as well. With his level of speed, he can help take care of some mistakes. And this is a bad turn away.
Sutley coming in at the top of the box looking for a shot and takes it, and it hits the post.
It hits the post. They're saying Sam Yoakum got a hand on it. We're going to have a corner kick, but you see a little giveaway there from the Panthers, and Sutley is on top of it and ready to pounce.
You know, in that first matchup, Sutley scored the first goal of the game against Frankfort and then received a red card after a collision with Yoakum. So they have a little bit of history there and almost some more history as that one was pushed out off the post by Yoakum.
Now you see Gritton with a little space. He's trying to connect with Vermillion, who goes back to Gritton. But there we see the speed of Joshua Lumpkins.
And Baylor Brooker playing that right back, able to clear it out. And we'll see if the Panthers can keep the offensive flow going here.
This is Preston Barber working down that sideline.
Preston, one of two Barbers on the field.
Good interception there from Lucas Nance. But his clearance only goes as far as Higbee, and the Panthers look to recycle here.
You'll see the formation that the Wolverines are playing here. They're going to make sure that the Panthers are going to have to pass the ball to find openings. Really packing it in, showing a compact back four and trying to keep balls like that from getting into a dangerous situation. Wolverines clear that ball, and we'll see the Panthers recycle again from the offensive end, trying to find Vermillion in the middle of the field.
That's actually Ty Hancock, and he's trying to
yes.
play. That's the second or third time they've tried to play Gritton through. Good recovery there good distribution there from goalkeeper Matthew Meyer.
Ty Hancock, a sophomore who has done a yeoman's job there in the midfield for Frankfort this year. Tyron Reynolds looking for space on that far side. And the ball does get there, but it's going to be pushed back.
One of the key changes that the Panthers have had this year is McLean Barber, who you can see there pressuring the ball, moved from the 8 to the 6. Ty Hancock had played that 6 a lot, and it's really just changed the team. McLean Barber has been tremendous at reading the game. You know, we're going to see a really nice player in Dice in the second half of our doubleheader tonight. McLean does it a little differently. He's not as big and strong and physical, but he does it. He's got good speed. He's got good instincts and a good read of the game.
And, you know, it's one of those things that in that position, you know, if you watch professional soccer, it's not always the size that matters there. It's more about that understanding of the flow of the game and anticipating plays. You see Frankfort working out of the back, trying to make some connections to turn the offensive side, but we get a turnover, and the ball's on Raphael Fricker's foot. And, you know, Raphael's been shooting from distance, but I think that one was a little bit beyond his range with that shot from about 40 that harmlessly goes out to the right of Yoakum.
Frankfort High is going to – one of the things we've noticed the last couple of weeks is they generally take these kicks pretty quick. They like to get the ball back moving. This is Vermillion. He's got Reynolds out wide. I think he was onside.
We'll see. That's Reynolds driving it down to the end line, and Meyer will collect.
Good collection there from Matthew Meyer.
I think that's going to be a good battle down that right side as Tyrod Reynolds against Zach Hurst. Zach was with him speed-wise for that play, but it's one of those things I think the Panthers are going to try and look to get some width in this game, and I think we'll see Reynolds being a target for some of those passes from Vermillion. It's going to be a collection by Matthew Meyer. The senior we talked about had a great save on Saturday night against Great Crossing. Little unlucky on a quick free kick, but he played a good game in that one. And I tell you, the Wolverines were just minutes from going to overtime with that one. But
that's Sutley again with another touch. It looks like they're going to call a foul, bring it back to the point of that original contact.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit far for a shot. I think we'll probably see Raphael Fricker probably try and chip in, try and find a head here for the Wolverines. Raphael weighs it out, waits for the wall by Frankfort to be built. They got an ambitious wall, 3 people from that distance, but we'll see what Fricker does with this, waiting for the whistle, and here's his shot. He hits right into that wall. Trying to fight for it, and Sutley battling for it, but Frankfort's going to come out with it, it looks like. Well, nice recovery there, but then the ball's just given away to Frankfort.
I think Coach K will be happy with that wall there. Against Great Crossings, they gave up a goal that went through the wall, so a little disappointing. And you don't like to you never like to see the wall break down, and they gave away a free kick to Preston Welch, so there the wall did their job.
It's a throw in for Western Hills, but it's right to a Panther, and Reynolds trying to find some space on this right side. It's pushed out for a throw in. You know, Bo, we were talking about some of the rule changes the other night. That might be a look of the past. It's another shot coming in at Meyer.
That was Adam Gritton there. Found a little sliver of space, and not a bad attempt, but Matthew Meyer right there to collect.
Yeah, so one of those rule changes is to get rid of the throw-in. And so soccer is going to have some evolution, it appears, with some of the rules coming soon.
That's what they're telling us.
I was talking with one of my friends who's a referee in the Northeast, and he says they've already adopted that rule. And so he says it's just a different type of game now.
Have they adopted it as a result of like COVID or?
You know, they implemented it when the first changes were talked about, and I think it probably is a COVID-related piece, but we didn't really get into that discussion. But he says it makes the game flow differently.
This is Hancock trying to work down that sideline. Good recovery there from Rudick.
The ball right there at midfield, and the Panthers being aggressive, trying to hold it up. Josh Lumpkins trying to find Wade Sutley on this left side.
He's found some pockets of space already early. He's had one good attempt. That was a nice idea, looking for Smith
Casey
out wide.
Smith, yeah.
The game's been pretty wide open so far. This is Gritton heading it on to Nathan Neal. He's looking to chip it back to Gritton.
And Chime Tope with a good defensive play to get it out. Sorry, Canyon Thomas has come into the game there on that right wing. Lucas Nance, who started the game, has been battling an ankle injury, and I'm afraid that ankle is already barking at him, and he's having to come out early in the game. Coach Mangum had talked about that he would expect to play Thomas a lot on the right wing and potentially on the left wing, as Lucas was probably going to be limited in his minutes, and we may see a play there that may have caused an injury. That was a nice play back to the keeper there off a chest.
That was from Baylor Brooker, I believe, who you mentioned the other night just recently transitioned into that back role. And you may have said that earlier when you were going through the starting lineups. I couldn't remember, but we got our first check-in here for the Panthers. It looks like Colby Craycraft, number 8, is going to jump in the game for Nathan Neal. You can see Nathan jumping off there, and looks like Colby gave a few instructions to Adam Gritton. It looks like
they're going to switch sides.
Looks like Reynolds. He and Reynolds are going to switch sides. So
looks like Craycraft sliding into that 9 position.
He has done that a little bit more recently. One of the things you'll see is a lot of times he and Hancock and Vermillion and Gritton, they all kind of interchange. And so the formation stays the same, but the pieces move, and it really gives them a different look at times.
There's another dangerous ball coming in, trying to find Gritton in the middle this time, but Meyer was able to collect from the oncoming rush.
Higbee with the header there to win.
You know,
this is Jack Caldwell.
This has been pretty much a wide open game here. That's Thomas battling the ball, finds Raphael Fricker in the middle of the field. Panthers are swarming with the defense and win possession.
But they give it away on the clearance, and so you've got to throw in.
Baylor Brooker on the throw-in, looking for a teammate, and he finds it wide open. Chime Tope in the middle of the pitch, looking around for options, and he finds Zach Hurst on the left wing.
He's got a 2v1 there with Sutley.
And a little too much pace on that one, but Sutley
couldn't quite keep it, yeah.
It's just he was open, but just a little bit too much on that pass. Sam Yokin will put the ball back in play, and as we talked about, Frankfort with a quick restart. Trying to build out of the back. It's Craycraft with a touch. Stefan Rudich will just tap back to his keeper, Matthew Meyer, and see the ball back at midfield. Good matchup tonight is going to be Vermillion and Fricker. I think those two are really who they're trying to push the offenses through on both sides, and it's going to be interesting to see who's going to lead to that first goal in this matchup.
Vermillion with a turn here. Looking wide, he's got Gritton. He plays the ball in behind. He's got a little space.
He's onside.
He looks to go across, and it's just wide.
That was Reynolds with that shot. Gritton once again finding space on this right wing. Coach Kennedy pushing all the right buttons right now.
That was a good ball in behind by Ethan Vermillion. Gritton got his head up. He had 2 different options there with Craycraft, and he went to far post. And just wide.
Just wide. And, you know, it's one of those things. That shot was open. Meyer was a little bit out of position just from that quick ball play, and there was a great opportunity for the Panthers. It's Casey Smith finding Jack Caldwell with a little bit of room. He looks for Fricker. Fricker pushes it up, but unable to connect passes. We got a handball.
A handball, yeah.
Handling in the middle of the pitch.
So this is another little dangerous area here where probably not going to shoot, but are going to try to play this into the mix and see if they can create some type of chance.
I think it's always a good thing to figure out who's going to be taking this. If Fricker's taking it, I think you're looking at a potential of a shot. If Chime Tope was taking it, I think you're looking more for a chip to try and run on with potential head. But we'll see what Fricker does here with this one.
He's coming at it from the left side.
Yeah, it's about 30 yards out, maybe a little more.
And he does take a shot. And
that was a nice play.
Yoakum just has to play it safe and tip it over the top. Concedes a corner kick.
You know, Fricker went for accuracy there, and it was a well-placed shot that Sam Yoakum was able to handle. But, you know, it's going to set up a corner kick, and we got Chime Tope is going to take this corner.
Sam Yoakum's probably fighting a little bit of the sun. You can probably see that on screen a little bit, that he's definitely, the shadows are making their way onto the pitch, but not quite to his goal yet. And so that adds to the pressure there. You can't hardly see it. And
you know, back in the 70s, you used to see goalkeepers with hats on during this time of the year. You don't see that much anymore.
Really nice corner kick there, but no one was on the far post, and so it goes out for a goal kick. And the ball is already back in play.
Frankfort wastes no time pulling that one back in.
But they give it away. They're going to play it quickly. They definitely don't want to be giving those turnovers away. This is Craycraft with a little bit of space. He looks for Hancock.
And a little heavy on that touch. And I'll tell you, both teams are a little sloppy with their handling right now. It's led to some chances, but so far no damage. You can see Western Hills' mentality here is that when they get in trouble, they're just going to play back to the keeper to try and reset, and hopefully the senior Matthew Meyer can pick out players. That's Zach Hurst losing the ball in the middle of the pitch.
That was Carpenter. It was a good idea, but I don't think
the ball hit the flag, and it's going to be a throw-in.
Stay in for a throw-in, but it's not going to be. It's going to be
throw-in for Western
Hills. Yeah. It looks like we got a couple subs here for Frankfort High. It looks like that's Thiago Pierce.
Yeah.
He's a sophomore, and he's checking in for Ty Hancock.
And we got Raul Hernandez, who's coming in off the bench, the sophomore, tied for the lead in goals for the Wolverines coming in. We expected to see Hernandez and Thomas, the super sophomores for Western Hills, and both of them are making an appearance here early in the first few minutes of this matchup.
And this is Sutley looking to play Raul in. And Hernandez gives chase, and Sam Yoakum will just clear.
If you remember that Franklin County game, Raul Hernandez was the one that was able to poke home the game winner in extra time.
Here we see Vermillion with a little space, and he tried to play it through to Thiago Pierce.
Matthew Meyer going to go ahead and take the goal kick. A little heavy on the pass there by Vermillion.
I think it took a deflection, too. I think it was a little defensive deflection. I think maybe Rudick or Lumpkins, one of the center backs. But, yep, you can see the danger that Vermillion plays there. You know, he turns, and once he explodes and gets into a little bit of space. Last Thursday, we saw him make an individual run that was
one of our Bluegrass Energy power plays of the season, possibly.
And it was definitely one of those Sports Center top 10 type deals. So he dropped his shoulder at midfield and just went on a –
it was 1 versus 11 is what it looked like. And,
he and Preston Welch put on a show, and so we'll get to see Preston Welch in the next game tonight at 8:30. And here again you see quick restart. This is Vermillion. He beats one. He's looking for McLean Barber.
And a miss it, and we've got a counterattack coming on for the Wolverines. Wade Sutley with a head of steam but a heavy touch, and it just ends up squashing the opportunity for the counter there.
That's Ashton Austin with the defense there. He couldn't quite collect it, but he does only concede a throw in. And like you mentioned, that was one of those situations where Frankfort High had numbers up. Gritton with a big switch out here to Tyron Reynolds.
Baylor Brooker with a nice play, finds Kenyon Thomas. And
good step there for Preston Barber. This has just been really high rate of play, not great soccer, but the energy levels have been high, and I think this is, a rivalry game, first round of districts.
Yeah. Typical district game where everybody's just feeling things out, and as the pressure mounts, I think we're probably going to see the first goal that will come about potentially from a mishandle. Somebody not clearing a ball when they should, or a deflection like we saw last night in the Franklin County Western Hills girls matchup.
Gritton trying to get back on top of that. Cut it back, cleared out by the Wolverines, only to Ashton Austin, who finds Carpenter. He looks to play, I think, a switch fields there, but it gets deflected out.
Yeah, Hernandez tightening in the defense there. Josh Lumpkins receiving that throw in, trying to stop Gritton
again. A little bit of a collision there between Piers and Matthew Meyer. You see some good sportsmanship there between the two of them.
Zach Hurst with the clearance, but Frankfort definitely putting some pressure on the Wolverines in this final third. Vermillion trying to find someone, and that's a good play by Jack Caldwell. And now we see the counter again with Frankfort playing that high line. Wolverines are seeing some opportunities here. That's Tope out to Thomas. Thomas trying to get around, trying to find someone to connect with, and he goes back to Tope to reset the offense.
Good recovery there from the Panthers, though. They, like you said, they were numbers down, but they delayed and got friends back, and now they are looking to counterattack the Wolverines.
Yeah, it's Chime Tope just everywhere right now for the Wolverines. Finding Baylor Brooker to release the pressure, and he's trying to find Raphael Fricker. But Frankfort once again wins possession.
Gritton tries to turn on Lumpkins. It's going to be a good matchup tonight, I think, between Lumpkins and whoever he's playing because he's a tough defender.
That's Sutley with the ball out trying to find Hernandez or Thomas, and it looks like it's going to be Hernandez that's going to pull that down, but after the foul. That's a dangerous look there for the Wolverines. But
looks like they got a stoppage in play, so the clock stops for a moment.
We got a foul on Hernandez there, and he receives a yellow card, so he'll have to come out.
That seems like I wonder if there was some dissent there maybe? Or
No, I think he caught him with a lot of body, but I'll be honest with you, the center official may have been a little bit out of
you know what I
position.
think he did? I think he kicked the ball away after the play.
Gotcha.
I just got to see, we've got our stream open here, and he just pointed at the ball. So I think after the play, he kicked the ball away from Frankfort High, and so that's a pretty silly foul or a card to pick up there.
Yep, and got Caleb Stratton that's going to enter the game and replace Kenyon Thomas. We got Lucas Nance who's back in, replacing Hernandez for the yellow card. So we're seeing Coach Mangum starting to shuffle the players a little bit as Frankfort gets a quick restart to get us back into this game.
This is Craycraft. He goes back to Higbee. We're just over halfway through this first half. We've had a couple chances. Wade Sutley had a good chance. Adam Gritton played a ball into Tyron Reynolds, which is probably the Frankfort High's best chance. And
there's a chance coming in, but not much on that shot.
Looks like Ty Hancock has re-entered the game as well.
And that was his shot there that was handled by Meyer.
Big distribution there.
And you see Lucas Nance trying to force the issue. Frankfort worked well to get that ball out to stop the onslaught from Western Hills.
And it looks like we're going to have another foul.
And the center ref is really preaching out there. I'm not sure what he's saying, but
well, he's definitely calling this pretty tight. Probably just trying to keep it under control here.
And that once again, Bo, I didn't see a whole lot of anything there, but it's we're a little bit of distance away from the field, so maybe he saw something that we weren't able to pick up here in the booth.
Well, I referee, and a lot of times earlier in the game, I'll call it a little tighter to try to get the boys. I want them to play soccer. I don't want this to become a physical fist fight,
Street fight.
And and then hopefully the kids will kind of get the tempo of the game, understand how he's calling it, and then you'll see less fouls.
Yeah. Well, Frankfort trying to work it down the field again against the Wolverines, and they're going to maintain possession here as they take the ball from Caleb Stratton, who came in just moments ago on that right wing. It's Wade Sutley tracking back, trying to help out the defense, but Frankfort maintaining possession and keeping the ball in the offensive third, trying to find some connections.
And this is dangerous.
Oh, that is dangerous. That's Lucas Nance with a head of steam. Two defenders coming on him, and he's unable to get a shot. Looking for the foul, but none called, but it will be a goal kick for Frankfort.
It looked like both Henry Higbee and Austin got in front of the ball, so I think that was a good call.
Yeah, I don't think there was a whole lot there, but, when you're out in front and you get caught from behind, a lot of times you look for that foul, and that's exactly what Nance was looking for there and unable to receive that from the center ref. Frankfort going to start the restart here, and, the way that we've seen this game, both teams have had their opportunities, but there's not been a outstanding shot or anything that we've seen that's going to cause any problems for these keepers.
I'd say that one from Reynolds was our best chance, the one that he just played wide.
Yes.
But didn't force a save, and here's the ball over the top. This is Ethan Vermillion.
Coming on, Matthew Meyer standing up, and there's our first goal of the game as Frankfort goes 1-0.
That was Ethan Vermillion. I'm not sure who played that ball into him, but somehow he got in behind.
That was the ball coming from the midfield, and we're still trying to figure out who it was with that assist.
Yeah, we'll see a little. It looks like that was coming from McLean Barber with the left footer. And so, again, I've already mentioned McLean Barber. That was a really nice play. And, Brad, this is very similar to the first meeting. Western Hills was able to get a goal about midway through the first half, but in that game, Western Hills answered right back.
That's right. And,
so,
that was a textbook finish by Ethan Vermillion. As we talked about, the offense for Frankfort flows through him, and he showed some good leadership, putting that one away when he had to. In a district game, you don't get those wide open opportunities many times, and the keeper, Matthew Meyer, didn't have a whole lot of chance on that one.
Looks like number 20 for Frankfort High, Taylor Dunnigan, has also checked in. Didn't see when he checked in, but
we got Casey Smith, who's returned, and Lucas Nance is back out. So you can see that Lucas is struggling with that ankle, trying to get a few minutes here and there.
And I think if he was healthy on that run in behind, he would have outrun those guys. But he's just a little bit under, he's just gimpy,
Yep.
and he's just fighting through. And he's a tough kid, just a junior.
Got a sub coming in for Frankfort.
Yeah, it looks like you got Gritton and Tyron Reynolds both jumping in. There's a good look at
That's Dunnigan coming out, and I didn't catch the other
Gritton.
one. Adam.
Yeah, it looks like Dunnigan, and not sure who that other one was, but this is Hancock.
It's Casey Smith coming back from the ball. Western Hills really has opportunities for these counterattacks. Just been unable to get a shot on goal from them. That's Caleb Stratton against half the Panther defense there, and he forces a throw in deep in Panther territory. Caleb had been playing most of the year as a center back. He's now playing a little bit of right wing.
Well, you talked about that formation that they're running, and they've kind of got a striker that's kind of hanging on the center back's shoulders, but they're pretty disconnected from the rest of the team. So it's going to take a couple passes for them to kind of break those lines and get out.
Yes.
And so you're going to need to see like a Caleb Stratton there try to hold the ball up and give time for Sutley or Nance or whoever's on those wings. Yeah, Raphael Fricker, Hernandez.
To have that run. And, right now in the possession game, Frankfort's winning this matchup, and you can see it with the score on the scoreboard, possessions equaling opportunities right now for the Panthers. So throw in to – is that Reynolds?
That's Reynolds trying to get to Craycraft, but he under immediate pressure from Tope. Out to Barber, and he
just lets it go out of bounds. That's one of those looking up to see who he can connect with and lost the ball off his foot.
Unforced error.
Brooker throws it in, tries to find Casey Smith. We got
another foul there.
I think that was a dangerous play that's going to be whistled.
Looks like Lucas Nance. You can see him trying to stretch it out. Looks like he's going to re-enter the game.
Yeah, I think Casey Smith got a little bit of a dead leg there. It looks like it hit him right in the thigh with the studs, and he's come up limping a little bit, so we're able to get Lucas back in the game. Free kick's going to come from Stefan Rudich from about 40. Rudich just chipping it in, hopefully finding
good ball,
ahead.
though, but Frankfort High is able to get ahead on it, and this is Vermillion with some space.
And that's Baylor Brooker coming up to make a good play to bang it off Vermillion for the Western Hills throw-in.
Vermillion's got a knack of just kind of playing it out in front of himself and running onto it, but on this turf, he's going to have to be a little tighter with that touch.
That was a good play by Vermillion to keep it in play, but he's not rewarded with possession for the Panthers. Baylor Brooker looking to throw it in. The sun, if you'll see the coaching staff on Western Hills, they're blinded. So as the shadows start coming into play here, Sam Yoakum's praying that the sun sets a little bit quicker because it's still right in his eyes in front of the Frankfort goal.
Got about 11 minutes left here in the first half. 1-0 Frankfort High on a goal from Ethan Vermillion. Got played in behind by McLean Barber.
Stefan Rudich clears that out from the back, and Frankfort pounces on that clearance and starts their offense again. That's Ty Hancock with a good ball over the top, trying to find a streaking Vermillion, but it ends up in the feet and hands now of Matthew Meyer. You can see
another long distribution. He's got a very nice punt, and it puts Preston Barber in immediate pressure, so he just plays the ball out wide for a throw-in. Stratton looking to get going pretty quickly here, and he's looking for Fricker. It's a nice step from Austin, who'll just look to clear.
Matthew Myers going to go ahead and put a boot to that one, trying to find Chinmay Tope. Tope handles that and now looks for a teammate, and he finds Zach Hurst coming down this left wing. Zach Hurst just dribbles it right out of bounds, unable to maintain possession, and it'll go back over to Frankfort.
I will say Frankfort High is pretty stretched right now.
Yep.
You're seeing a lot of gaps in the midfield. You've seen Fricker pick up the ball a couple times. You've seen Tope pick up the ball a couple times. You know, I think Coach K would like to see them step a little bit quicker so they can make this more compact.
The crowd erupts over something. Not sure what that was, but
yeah, I'm not sure either. I'll see if I can.
It might be the score from the girls' game.
Well, that was Frankfort High girls or Frankfort High fans doing a lot of the cheering. So we'll see what that was about. We'll get an update here.
Now we got 2 district matchups happening simultaneously, so it'll be it's kind of interesting to see the crowd reactions based off the game being played right across town here in Scott County at the Scott County High School.
And I'll tell you, it would be a pretty monumental upset if Frankfort High were to pull that upset off. Not because they couldn't do it, but because Great Crossings is a very talented team.
And, you know, it's one of those things that we were hoping to be able to broadcast that game last night. Storms moved in right after the Franklin County Western Hills game, and we were unable to bring that to you on the BSN network. So if we do get that upset, that may be monumental if we don't get it. Speaking of monumental, that shot just went over the goal.
Tyron Reynolds played a ball in, and quite frankly, he didn't get enough on it, but Western Hills defender misplayed it, and Preston Barber found himself on the back post, but couldn't get over top of it and sails it just high.
You know, it's one of those things that I think it surprised him as much as anything, and he just wasn't prepared to be able to strike that ball into the back of the net. Meyer goes short this time with Josh Lumpkins, but you can see what Western Hills is trying to do, is trying to get the ball out in front so they can run onto it, but the Panthers have been putting a stop to that at this point.
It's a nice little ball from Vermillion looking for Gritton. Couldn't quite handle the touch, but
That's Gritton breaking up that pass and now calling for the ball.
He's
looking for
back,
somebody.
Cleared out of there by Chimney Tope, and here's Lucas Nance all alone, surrounded by 4 Frankfort High Panthers.
And, you know, it looks like from just watching Lucas play, after watching him play most of the season, it looks like he has the speed up and back, but it's those side-to-side cuts is where he's struggling, where he has to use that injured ankle. Got Casey Smith re-entering the game here, replacing Caleb Stratton. It's Wade Sutley in the middle of a bunch of Panthers trying to find somebody, and that's Lucas Nance shooting from distance, and it's just wide.
A really nice strike there from Lucas Nance.
Just wide to the left, and Sam Yoakum's right, and Sam Yoakum will get the ball back in play.
See a good look there of Lucas trying to fight through these ankle injuries. And in our very first game that you and I did against Bardstown, he kind of tweaked his ankle on the track.
Yes.
And so it seems like that's been a recurring issue with him.
Well, it's something he's battled for years. You know, once you injure an ankle, it's hard to come back if you until you take time off. And Lucas is one of those club soccer players that plays 12 months out of the year, and it's just hard. Looks like we're going to have a foul there in the midfield.
Another foul on the Panthers.
Jim-
Vermillion's touch got a little bit away from him. I think he was trying to play a big switch, and the ball just kind of got away from him, and he started scrambling, committed a foul. Is this Jack Caldwell?
And it's going to be Jack Caldwell. And Jack, a kicker for the football team. We'll see if he can put some distance on this one. He's going to chip this time and try and find a head. It's an awkward ball for Yoakum, but he handled it well.
That was an awkward little bounce there for Sam Yoakum. And again, quick distribution out to Barber. His touch is a little long, but he's able to connect with Vermillion. And I think he's going to pick up a foul there from Baylor Brooker.
Yep, and caught him pretty well there with the body. And Vermillion, of slight build, though, is a very tough player. So
and he's taken a lot of those this year.
Yes, he has.
At this point in the season, everybody knows who he is. They can, you don't have to look any farther than the KHSA website and stats to know that he's an important part of this team.
It's a dangerous ball. Myers trying to play it, and he makes a good play on that high ball.
He does make a good play.
He's going to wait for the Panthers to clear before he restarts the offense for Western Hills, and he kicks it up the field trying to find someone, and with a bounce it comes right to Lucas Nance, but that's got to go straight to Yoakum, the senior keeper for the Panthers, and he's just going to wait until somebody comes up and makes him play it, and Fricker comes in to provide what he wanted.
He plays a quick punt. It made it to Reynolds, but Reynolds' touch let him down a little bit. This is McLean Barber picking it up. He looks for Craycraft. He looks for Hancock. They've got Vermillion out wide. He cuts it back inside. And
that's a pass just didn't have enough on it, and Zach Hurst was able to intercept it. But the Panthers once again hop back on the possession wagon.
This is a good battle between Reynolds and Hurst.
And Hurst is down trying to center the ball, but the Wolverines survived that, and now we've got a counter, and it's Casey Smith trying to find Lucas Nance. Lucas makes a diagonal run to find the ball, and he's going to hold it up looking for friends. He crosses it at the top of the 18 for Sutley, who didn't get the kind of touch he wanted on that first ball and blasted over the goal. That was a good opportunity for Western Hills.
That was a good clearance from Tope to find – I'm not sure who was that, Casey Smith?
That was Casey Smith that came out wide and found Lucas Nance, and then Lucas waited for the streaking Sutley to come on and just a little bit of a heavy touch on that. It's Josh Lumpkins picking up the loose ball, finding Casey Smith on that right wing. He dribbles in, looking for someone, going to try and push it through, and it's Lucas Nance that has it, and you know, Western Hills has taken some shots, but
this is a lot like the first game.
Yeah.
You know, to close the half, they played really well. They were down a man at that point.
That's right.
But they created a couple really good chances, one through Casey Smith and one through Lucas Nance. And so, again, they haven't been able to get that game tire yet, but they are definitely, as we like to say in the game of soccer, they're turning that screw. They're adding pressure.
That's right. And, you know, it's one of those things that if they could just get some shots on frame, you know, they're getting looks. It's just their technique's letting them down a little bit with those shots on goal. Jack Caldwell finding the ball there, and Wade Sutley trying to pick it up in midfield, but a good turn. That's Barber with that nice turn.
This is Hancock. He's looking to play in, was that Vermillion?
Yeah,
but that's a really good step by Brooker, and he finds Smith, and Smith has found some space out here.
And that's a great ball from Smith to Lucas Nance, who chips it
just
on
wide.
the side netting.
But that's twice in a row now that they've found Smith in space, and it looks like immediately Coach K is going to bring Nathan Neal into the game. He's going to give Adam Gritton a break. But I thought he might move out to that wing just to give Frankfort some fresh legs.
Yep. You know, Casey Smith's done a good job of controlling the ball. We got the keeper is going to get a question from the center ref. I'm not sure what's going on there.
You guys just got to see a replay of that shot, and you see how close it was. Wonderful strike there, and Sam Yoakum was quick off his line. And
oh, that's a bad turnover right in front, and the defense once again comes through.
Senior Henry Higbee, and a really bad giveaway. So just got a text from Daniel Rogers, who's the Frankfort High girls soccer coach. They are down 2-0 to Great Crossings at halftime.
Oh, the ball just went through the defender, and Sam Yoakum had it bounce off his shin to go out of bounds. So danger for Wolverines, but once again, the Panthers are bending but not breaking.
1 minute, 15 seconds here. Ball gets played in a mix. It's bouncing around. That's Smith looking to do a little bicycle.
Yeah, I think that wasn't much of a bicycle effort, more thought process than actual execution. That's Fricker trying to find someone, and Yoakum's going to come in and make the basket catch on it. And
so we got 54 seconds.
See Sam trying to distribute out of the back there, this time making sure he found a Panther, unlike the last time. This is Reynolds with the ball trying to make something happen with Chimme Tope.
And he just picks his pocket right there.
That was a quick feat by Tope. Jack Caldwell trying to find Raphael Fricker. Josh Lumpkin's going to swing the ball to Baylor Brooker, the junior. He's looking up for Lucas Nance and unable to make that connection.
And I did not see, but it looks like number 2, Carter Gilbert, is checked in. He's playing that right side. That's it.
That's some good connections there by Frankfort. And then you see Rudich with the interception, and the Wolverines trying to get something going here with 4 seconds left, and I think that's going to take us to the half.
That is going to do it here at Great Crossings High School. We're at halftime of our first game. The Frankfort High Panthers lead 1-0. Goal from Ethan Vermillion, assist from McLean Barber with about 18 left. Yep. Western Hills fought back, added a lot of pressure, and so I think Coach Mangum's going to have some things that he can encourage, and he can look, he can have some positive comments because they definitely reacted well. Right. Let's take a quick break. We'll take a. I just lost my train of thought there. Clint Goins was waving at me, and we'll get a quick message from our sponsors, and we'll be right back here on the Bluegrass Sports Network.
The people of Frankfort are ready for growth in our community. We need strong leaders who can help bring real changes to our city. Kyle Thompson is ready for the challenge. He's a strong supporter of law enforcement and wants to provide proper funding for our police and emergency services to reduce crime rates. Kyle also plans to work in cooperation with the county to revitalize our parks. It is important to provide for the well-being of all of our Frankfort families. Kyle is ready to take on all of this and more. Make your voice heard and vote Kyle Thompson for City Commission.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
Hi, I'm Sarah Neely. I'm the financial manager at Mill Ridge Farm. Whenever you transition financial institutions, there's a tremendous amount of paperwork involved. Traditional banks streamlined this paperwork, and they just made it very simple. Traditional Bank is a locally owned bank that allows us to operate on an international platform. They make my life better, they make my job easier, and they make Mill Ridge a better place.
This is Brad Thomas on the Bluegrass Sports Network. We're at halftime here in the 41st District Soccer matchup between Frankfort High and Western Hills Wolverines. And while we have a moment here in between halves, we thought we would bring in one of the Western Hills Wolverines star players who went down earlier this season with a knee injury. Lincoln Maddox here in the booth with us tonight. Lincoln, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Brad?
Doing good. What'd you think of the first half?
I thought Western Hills played pretty well themselves. I think both teams did pretty well. Western Hills started off, a little shaky, finally got into their groove, and then they started turning it on in that last, 5 minutes and got quite a few chances on goal, but didn't really get to finish anything.
I know you were on the bench there with the team, and did Coach Mangle during the play? What was he saying to his teammates? Was he pleased with what he was seeing at this point?
He was pretty pleased. He thought we weren't controlling the ball well enough in the midfield. We just kept giving it up. But he said otherwise, defense has been pretty good. Offense, we just got to finish on our chances right there and just can't give up.
Now, one of the games that we had you on the Bluegrass Sports Network, we kept talking about Lincoln Maddox, the man, the myth, the Maddox.
Yes.
And, it was one of those highlights of the season from your perspective. But just a couple games later, you had the knee injury. Talk a little bit about what happened to you.
Yeah, it was. We were playing Spencer County at home, and I went in on a tackle, hit him with the right foot, and I landed on the left knee, and I just felt like a pop motion, like it went in and out of socket, and didn't feel too good. I did get up and sprint, anyways, even though the trainer told me not to, but I don't listen to people very well, so that's kind of the issue with me, and. They told me I'd probably need to sit out. They didn't know what was wrong because we couldn't get an MRI soon enough. So they gave me this fancy brace and told me I should go ahead and play. And I went down in the first 3 minutes of the next game.
Yeah, I think I was there for that. It was your first attempt to pass with the leg that had the injury, and it didn't go so well.
Yeah, planted my left foot, and it went down.
So I know that you got surgery planned with UK Sports Medicine. Dr. Darren Johnson, who's a legend with knees. He's the one who did my daughter's surgery just a couple years ago. So what is the prognosis, and what's going to be the next time we hear about Lincoln Maddox? What are you going to be up to?
Oh, well, I'm not sure. I won't be playing soccer anymore probably, but he's going to do a patellar tendon graft. He'll get me fixed up and hopefully ready for the Air Force when I go to do special operations and whatnot. But as long as they still take me.
Well, it's one of those things, Lincoln. I've known you now through watching you play on the soccer pitch, and you've always been a fitness fiend, so to speak. So how has it been with the injury? Because you're not able to run the mileage you were expecting, not able to work out the same levels that you were used to.
Yeah, I actually I can't do any exercise really besides, lifting, and that's just not enough for me because I love to run. So I've actually been starting to watch my diet, which is something I hate even more because I just can't get the exercise in to stay down. But
well, you're welcome to middle age a little bit early because I have to watch my diet on a regular basis too. But
I don't like that.
Well, I can tell you the Wolverines are missing you out there on the pitch, but I can tell you that Stefan Rudich has really stepped up as a replacement for you. And, that back four is totally different than what we started the season with for Western Hills Wolverines. Can you talk a little bit about the personnel changes and who's stepping up in your eyes?
Yeah, so we moved Josh Lumpkins, one of our left back, or no, he's actually the right back. We moved him back to center back, and we actually switched out Caleb Stratton and had him start playing right wing, which I think is actually a really good change for him because of his speed and how he gets down the field and can get that crossing power in a lot better than what he was doing in the center back. But we also switched out Baylor Booker is getting a lot more time now, and he has really stepped up in my opinion. He's done great things, covering, and he's been great. He stepped up a whole lot for the team.
I think early on the team was really depending on you and your athletic side to really squash any offensive opportunities for the opposition. Now it's much more of a team approach. They were leaving a lot of it for you to clear up for them, and now you're seeing truly a back four that's having to work together and try to stop some of these offensive surges from the opponents.
Yeah, it's definitely a whole lot different version of soccer from what I am used to watching. So I like it, though. I mean, I like seeing the team work together and finally get clicking like that in the back.
So, we talk about athletics, but let's talk about academics for a second. You're going through the virtual learning, and I know that we probably have Superintendent Mark Kopp on this broadcast.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how virtual learning's working out for you, and are you ready to get back to the classroom?
Oh, virtual learning, I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it is. It's actually not too bad. I'm learning a lot more than I thought I would, considering it's even my senior year. So, I didn't really think I'd learn much anyways. But overall, I am very ready to get back in the classroom. I think it'll be a lot more. I think it'll be a lot easier to learn and just be a lot more fun actually being able to see people in person again and actually meet some of my teachers that I've never met before.
Well, it's an interesting thing. It's preparing you for college because they're in the virtual world right now as well,
sure.
and there's a lot of the parents at home still working in a virtual world in the home. So, Lincoln, we just want to thank you for coming up and sharing a little bit of your insight and telling a little bit about your story, and glad you could join us on the BSN network, and let's see if you can't bring some good fortune for the Wolverines in this second half.
Oh, yeah, thank you for having me on, Brad.
All right, thank you. I got Bo Craycraft getting ready to come back as we get ready to start the second half. We got Frankfort took that 1-0 lead about midway through the first half, and, Western Hills had their chances, Bo.
They definitely had their chances, and they definitely responded after giving up that goal to Ethan Vermillion. I mentioned it right there towards the end of the half. I felt like Frankfort High had gotten a little stretched out. And so I think Coach K is going to try to have them be a little bit more organized, especially in the midfield. It looks like he's made a slight adjustment to the 11 that comes back. It looks like number 8, Craycraft, is entered. Not sure if he's playing a midfield position or if he's playing more of a 9. It looks like he's slotting into the midfield.
That's Raul Hernandez who's on the field. I'm sorry, that was Rafael Fricker who came in for that shot. Western Hills looks like they're going to come out with the same alignment as they did in the first half. And what we're going to see from Frankfort is it looks like they pushed Ethan Vermillion out wide on the left here. Chimay Tope trying to find Jack Caldwell in the middle of the pitch. But Frankfort's going to take possession, and here's Vermillion on this left wing looking with a head of steam, taking on Baylor Brooker and going diagonal across the pitch, trying to find the right side of the field, and he does.
That was Ethan Carpenter coming down that left side or right side. This is Tyron looking far post. He's got Barber. Good first touch.
Just off the post. It was a good look.
It skimmed the post there. It was a great first touch, and as you can see here on this replay,
wide open.
He brings it down. Enough pressure there from Josh Lumpkins to keep that from making it 2-0, but you can see there it started with Vermillion. He played it out wide. Ball got switched across the field.
And you can see Coach Kennedy is pushing up those backs, and that was where those backs were coming into play there. They had 7 attackers at one point on that last offensive series, and, it looks like he's trying to put the death punch in early in this second half.
Yoakum's going to come out and collect, but, yeah. Preston Barber is his outside back, and he was the one getting on the end of that cross.
And he pushed up on both wings. You had the backs coming up the right and the left side and throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the Wolverines, and just unlucky that they weren't able to put that second goal in.
So the Wolverines lived. They dodged that bullet. They've got a throw in here through Baylor Brooker. He's looking for Lumpkins. A little heavy touch there, but he recovers. But that's a bit of a giveaway. And Gritton's got Tyron Reynolds, and Lumpkins trying to clear.
It's one of those things at the beginning of this half, Frankfort has come out with a head of steam. I'm not sure what Coach Kennedy had to tell them, but they are coming out and playing like gangbusters here at the start of the second half. Western Hills seems almost in shock from the offensive surge we're seeing from the Panthers. Josh Lumpkins trying to pull it out, but he's going to be held there by Ty Hancock. And Wolverines are glad to be able to put the ball up the field, as it seems like it's set in this final third for quite some time at the start of the second half.
It's a good win there by McLean. Gritton's got Reynolds coming down. He's going to try to play it through. Well done there from Hurst. He has to just play it out under pressure for a corner kick.
Yeah, as a coach, you kind of wish that he was able to push it to the sidelines as opposed to the inline, but you'll take it as long as it wasn't a shot on goal. But we've got the Panthers ready to take a corner kick. And
it looks like Mangum's getting ready to reinsert Hernandez, who you mentioned a moment ago is one of their top scorers. Also has a lot of energy, good speed.
Plays aggressively, and that aggressive play just moments in the first half ended up resulting in a yellow card for him for
had some kind of ball issue there, so we swap him out. This is Ty Hancock.
Hancock looking for someone. That's a good ball coming in from Hancock, and it's still sitting right at the 6-yard box.
That was cleared out of there finally by Jack Caldwell, senior.
As a defender, you hate to see that ball just linger in the box because anything can happen when it's that close to your own goal.
This is Ethan Carpenter, you can see there on screen, senior. He's looking to play in Reynolds. I don't know if that was deflected. It was not.
And that's going to be a goal kick for Matthew Meyer and the Wolverines. They are dodging some bullets here early in this second half. It's been all Panthers at this point. We are only a few minutes into this second half, and we have already seen several chances for the Panthers.
Get a good look there of Raul Hernandez, who just checked into the game.
And it looks like Stefan Rudich was who was replaced, and Jack Caldwell, who had been playing in the holding midfielder position, now slides into that center back position, and Hernandez will take his place. It's Raphael Fricker looking for Lucas Nance, and the Panthers are just swarming right now. Lots of confidence, and they're trying to play their game, and it's been effective so far in the second half.
This is Gritton. Looking for a little room, trying to get on that right foot. He's got Reynolds out wide.
Just a little
behind him, but he's still able to get there. He's got Carpenter going down line, but he chooses to come central. I think that was Hancock he was trying to connect to.
And that is Jack Caldwell, who puts the ball out in front. And you got Fricker in a foot race that's won by the Panthers.
And that's McLean Barber, and I mentioned him earlier. He just reads the game well, especially when those outside backs get forward. He tends to stay home.
That's Sutley battling in the midfield, passing Tope, and Panthers take the ball back. Getting a little sloppy in the midfield right now, but the Panthers come out with it, and they're looking to push down the right wing, and that's a great ball coming in from Gritton.
This is Hancock. He's trying to cut it back. He does a drop there, and this is Barber, and he puts it home.
Oh, no, it's off the post. And
wow.
It went right back in the hands of Matthew Meyer.
Unbelievable
what a shot.
It fooled me because I thought it was tucking in the side netting.
I don't know what he had for lunch, but he is having an unlucky dinner tonight because those are 2 times he's hit the post in the last few minutes. And that one would have put a dagger through the hearts of the Wolverine fans. And that's Casey Smith trying to make something happen for the Wolverines. But it's all Panthers at this moment. Raul Hernandez coming back with the ball, trying to switch it, but read beautifully by the Panthers. Ball comes back to Lucas Nance on a deflection. He's trying to find someone, but all he sees are orange and blue striped shirts. Chime Tope picks it up and bounces one in front of Sam Yoakum, who handles it with no problems. Yoakum trying to distribute out of the back. He's just going to have to punt it as the Wolverines were ready to try and stop the quick distribution. Fricker just trying to find Wade Sutley. The offense is getting a little stagnant for the Wolverines as they keep trying to go central. Not a whole lot of width being played at this moment by the Wolverines.
This is Craycraft. He plays out wide to Reynolds. He's got Gritton making the run. He plays him in. Jack Caldwell steps over.
And that ball just drifted out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Wolverines.
Well, we've seen the Panthers really attack that right side, but not really to finish. They've created the opportunities on the right side, but then played the ball over the top.
Right.
And Barber's been on that back side a couple times now.
It's one of those things you preach width as a coach, and what that width does when you play the full width of the field, it separates that back 4 defenders and creates those opportunities for Barber on this back post for the last few shots that the Panthers have seen.
But for all that attacking, it's still 1-0.
Yep, and
32 minutes to go, and so as much pressure as they've applied, they don't really have anything to show for it for this half, and so they got to keep playing. And the Wolverines have life.
Yeah, and it's playing out very similar to that first matchup we saw between these two teams. Baylor Brooker with the ball here, trying to find Kenyon Thomas, who just entered the game for Lucas Nance, but the pass was a little wide for him. Panthers back on the attack. That's Gritton with the ball, trying to find Vermillion. Spreads it to the middle.
Hancock, he's winding it up.
That shot is just wide, and we'll see a goal kick again for the Wolverines. Wolverines really haven't gotten into the offensive flow this second half. As we've talked, it's been all Panthers to this point. But, Bo, as you talked about earlier, score's still 1-0, so anybody's game at this point.
That's Barber winning the header. But a good fight there from Hernandez, and he has a little space. He's playing Casey Smith out wide.
And Casey Smith looking up to find someone in the middle of the field, takes on the defender and drives it down, but it looks like he's lost possession.
That was defending by Ethan Carpenter. He does give up a throw in, but
going to be Tope putting that ball into play, trying to find Sutley. Hernandez ends up with it, looking for a switch, and he comes to Baylor Brooker, who comes out to Kenyon Thomas. Kenyon trying to take on Vermillion there. I'm sorry, that wasn't Vermillion. That was
Preston Barber. That
Wade
is a
Sutley.
really good ball to Wade Sutley.
Off the
post.
crossbar.
It's still bouncing around. That's Smith trying to get a touch on it.
Tope with a shot that's blocked, and, bad luck is hitting both ends of the field as we've had 3 posts hit here in just the opening minutes of this second half. Kenyon Thomas tries to play it back to Baylor Brooker, who gets it under control and tries to swing it back through for some offense for the Wolverines. That was the best set that we've seen from the Wolverines this second half. And once again, though, they come up with out a real opportunity to score outside of the post. The post is winning this game. We've had 3 posts and 1 goal at this point.
The post has been the winner thus far, but we got plenty of time for that to change.
See Casey Smith working the ball again down that left side and is able to win the throw-in.
This is Barber. He's trying to keep it in play so he doesn't concede a corner, and he does. You can see Casey Smith there collecting the ball.
Casey Smith looking around trying to find somebody. Has Chime Tope there for the throw-in, and Tope's battling, and the ball goes off of Tope, and it's going to be a Frankfort throw-in. Tope wasn't real happy with that as he thought the ball should have been the Wolverines, but it's the Panthers' ball as they come forward.
Not sure what's going on there. We had a little whistle, and
I think we had a substitution.
Yeah, it looks like that's Nathan Neal entering the game for – looks like Ty Hancock has taken a break.
And it looks like Kennedy's also going to be switching around the players again. We see now Gritton coming to the left side for the Panthers.
And Vermillion has slided over more centrally. You see him right here getting a touch. He finds Nathan Neal, who plays Craycraft out wide. He's got Reynolds to his right. Reynolds tries to beat, and again, Hurst up to the challenge. This is Nathan Neal with a win back.
Frankfort struggling to try and get a cross in there, but that's a great throw. There should be some opportunities for Frankfort there.
Once again, Barber in the mix there, but ball squirts out, and that's Tope, I think.
Tope again, and Western Hills just lucky to get the ball out. And Frankfort applying the pressure again, turning the screws for their offense. And I think with the flow of this game at this point, I'm feeling like we're going to see a goal here pretty soon. Got a delay as we had a player lose some shin guards, it appears.
Yeah, and it looks like you can see right there, it looks like Joey Kurtzinger is getting ready
Joey
to jump
Kurtzinger's going to come in. He's a holding midfielder
but
typically.
they did not let him come in the game. Okay, I'm not sure what was going on there.
That was a Frankfort throw-in. So
that's going to be out for a corner kick.
See who's going to be on the end of this one. Looks like
that's McLean Barber, I think, jogging over. Also got Vermillion. They like to do this short sometimes.
And you see Zach Hurst all over.
They're going to ask for 10. Much like any other free kick, we talked about this last night. This is a direct kick. They could score off of it if they were able to. You don't see that very often. Ball's in the air.
Hernandez
it drops to Gritton, but we have a whistle.
I think we had a foul called there. So you're going to go ahead and get the ball restarted out of the back by Jack Caldwell. A little bit of strange flows of the game at this point between calls and plays here from this district rivals game. Casey Smith looking around. He finds Raphael Fricker, who goes back to Casey Smith on the left side. Smith looks around, tries to find someone, and he finds Hernandez, who swings it to Tope. Tope from distance. But, that's a shot from distance that just doesn't have any steam on it at all.
Yeah, if you're gonna have to put a little pace and power on that from that distance to beat Yoakum.
Yoakum punts to midfield, and Jack Caldwell wins that battle. Comes out to Adam Gritton, who takes on Chinmay Tope.
So Gritton still continuing his run. He's got Craycraft wide, and he's got Reynolds, but he gets his head up. He's trying to play a ball into the mix. Looking for Barber, I think.
A little bit of contact there, and we'll get a restart here with Matthew Meyer picking up the ball after contact and a foul called. We're going to stop the clock. Looks like we're going to have a card issued. So that's going to go against Barber.
I guess that's for running into the keeper.
We'll get a substitution as a result of that, and we'll also see Joey Kurtzinger come in. Who's that coming in for the Panthers there, Bo?
That is Carter Gilbert, number 2.
He's going to take over that left back position.
I don't expect Barber to be out very long.
Gilbert's a junior for Frankfort and is inserted into that left back position due to the yellow card. Frankfort right now just looks quicker to the ball. They're winning a lot of those 50-50 balls and able to keep putting the pressure on Western Hills. Throw in from Hurst, and the Panthers once again taking over possession.
This is Gilbert's first touch. Nice little touch there, looking for Gritton. Wasn't able to quite collect it, but still fighting.
And that's Gritton still on the ball, trying to find somebody, taking on the entire Wolverines defense, it looks like. Panthers maintain possession. They'll swing it back around. Casey Smith applying the pressure.
That was really nicely done. He didn't let that ball go down line. He kept it locked in. Now Barber tries to squeeze it through, and that's a really nice ball.
And Gilbert coming up that left back position.
That's a good ball from Gilbert into Nathan Neal. He's looking to his right. Vermillion couldn't quite get there. Good win there from Gritton. He's back on the ball. He plays it to Craycraft. Craycraft's going to strike it, but again, much like the one we just saw from Tope, he didn't quite have enough power on that.
Right into Meyer's hands, and Meyer get the restart going. Here's Baylor Brooker coming up the right side, trying to connect with Joey Kurtzinger. Panthers all over him. He goes back to Brooker. Brooker looking down the line, but Panthers once again. Seems like the Panthers have 15 players out there at this point as Wolverines struggling to keep the ball in possession.
Good throw in there from Gilbert, looking for Nathan Neal. Gilbert's giving them good minutes here.
Yep.
In replacement of Preston Barber.
It's Raphael Fricker on the throw here, trying to find someone. Comes in to Canyon Thomas, who goes back to Fricker, but once again the Panthers are winning the possession game, and every 50-50 ball seems to be going to the boys in orange and blue right now.
Gilbert looking for Gritton. Good tackle there from Fricker.
Fricker trying to switch over to Casey Smith, but just not enough on it, and it goes right into the right back for the Frankfort Panthers. Wolverines will have a throw in here with Zach Hurst trying to find Casey Smith. Casey Smith's been a bright spot for the Wolverines tonight.
He definitely has. He's created a couple good chances. And I got to say, I keep hearing a whistle. I don't think they can hear it at home, but there's a football team practicing behind us, and so I keep hearing the whistle, and I keep thinking there's a foul, and it's from behind us. So it's throwing me off my game tonight.
Well, it's one of those things. We're at a spectacular sports complex. Had some friends watching the stream the other night from Texas asking me what university we're at, and it's actually Great Crossing High School. And they have a nice turf football field directly behind the soccer pitch, the dedicated turf soccer pitch.
So we had a free kick there. I didn't see who that was. That was
free kick was taken from Jack Caldwell, and he put it in, and Western Hills is going to be awarded a corner kick here.
And we got a slew of Frankfort High Panthers coming in. It looks like Barber's returning, Taylor Dunnigan. You can also see Piers, Thiago Piers, and also Ty Hancock returning to the game.
You got Eddie Nafor coming in for Raphael Fricker. He's going to be in that attacking midfielding position.
Yeah, there's a...
Got our corner kick's going to come in from Hernandez. Hernandez whips it in, trying to find Caldwell, but unable to make a connection there, and we're off to the races with the Panthers as they've got an advantage here. They've got a 4-on-3 scenario, but good defending by the Wolverines to hold up the ball. That's Zach Hurst causing chaos in the Panther attack. See the header from Jack Caldwell that is not going to be saved, or was it saved by Matthew Meyer? He's way out of the goal.
That was dangerous play there from the Wolverine keeper, and that's Taylor Dunnigan still working that corner. He drops here to Ty Hancock.
The keeper comes out, Meyer with a good save there. A little unorthodox in that play there, but once again, the Wolverines bend but don't break, and Meyer will start the offense again.
I say Chad Mangum was probably a little nervous about his goalkeeper coming out quite that far.
That it's one of those things that keepers, when they come out like that, you need to make sure that you go out till you get the ball. And anytime you're out of the goal without the ball, it's danger. And luckily, Meyer was able to avoid any kind of issues there. We got a foul in the middle of the pitch.
I think they called a handball there on McLean Barber.
Okay, we're going to get a restart here, and
that's Wade Sutley, senior Wade Sutley. And he's going to leave it, and it looks like Jack Caldwell is going to come over and take that free kick. And as you mentioned, he's got a bit of a leg.
You see the Wolverines pushing up the line there of Frankfort, and the ball is going to drift out of bounds over the outreach of Sam Yoakum, and it'll be a simple goal kick for the Panthers. Once again, that quick restart. Kenyon Thomas on the press there, and he was able to convince the Panthers to kick that out of bounds. So we get a quick throw in here from the Wolverines.
That was probably one of those times where, we want to go fast, the Panthers, but Coach K is going to say we have to make good decisions too.
Yep. That's Zach Hurst trying to come in for a shot, but not on target, and he'll go out of bounds for a goal kick.
And just full disclosure, because I catch myself every once in a while, I do say we at times. For those of you that aren't, don't know me, maybe you're from Georgetown watching this game or elsewhere. My son is a member of the Frankfort High Panthers. Brad Thomas, that's a bad giveaway. Sutley in front of the goal, and he puts it away.
That was Kenyon Thomas.
I apologize. I thought it was, and that's the second time today we've seen a really loose giveaway, and you see it there.
And Kenyon Thomas is a keeper by trade, and he's been playing in the field this year for the Wolverines, and for some reason has a knack for finding the ball in front of the goal. And
that was, again, we just talked about.
That was one of those plays that, if you're Brad Kennedy, you wish you could take back. Just a miscommunication on the back, and Kenyon Thomas cleans up the spill on aisle 3, and we're tied at 1-1.
So 20 minutes in, the Wolverines have answered back.
And
last week it was you that misrecognized your son. This week it was me. And but took advantage of an error in the back there, and so we're tied 1-1. And
that was very reminiscent of a goal that Western Hills had earlier in the season at Danville, where Kenyon Thomas was able to take it off one of the back four's feet and on a keeper who had just passed it out and able to put it in. And tonight, very similar type fashion. Finds the back of the net, and now the Wolverines are back in contention. And, Bo, this is setting up to be very similar to the type of game we saw at Western Hills earlier this year.
You're right. It's exactly setting up that way. It's been – you would say that Frankfort High's had a lot of good chances in this half, but they didn't put them away. And so the Wolverines take advantage of a bit of a mistake in the back.
And, I'll go back and say the post is still winning. There's been 3 posts in this game and only a goal for each side. And, it's amazing how just a few inches would have changed this game dramatically, as we had Preston Barber who hit the post twice within just a few minutes. And then you have the turnover deep for the Panthers that ends up in the back of the net. Sam Yoakum, the keeper, really didn't have a chance when it's that deep and it's turned over. Wolverines,
another handball there.
Yeah, another handball. And the Wolverines are breathing again. They were getting down and seeing a lot of shots, and with 17 and a half minutes left, this is shaping up to be an action-packed District 41 boys soccer game, and it's exactly what we thought it would be.
It is.
These games have been nail-biters throughout the season.
It just doesn't matter who the teams are or who's what on the season. This is Reynolds looking to get around the corner. This is Hurst defending him. Well done there to turn him backwards. He's got Ethan Carpenter. He's looking to play a ball in. Good header out there by Lumpkins.
And Eddie Nafor trying to get the offense started, trying to find Wade Sutley, but he's on an island surrounded by Panthers.
This is Gritton trying to turn the corner on Baylor Brooker.
Gritton's had a good game for the Panthers. He's been dangerous, and here he is in space again trying to make something happen.
Really nice read there from Lumpkins to come over.
Sutley 1-on-4, and he somehow keeps possession of the ball and keeps pushing it up. Kenyon Thomas trying to come up to help and support, but really Wade Sutley had it forever, and you can only keep the ball against 4 defenders for a short period of time, and with very little help coming from the midfield. Panthers are swinging it around, trying to find some options here. There's a turnover to Joey Kurtzinger, but with no one up top, there was a pass to no one. Ball put in deep.
That's a good ball in. That's Hancock almost connected with it. That was a really nice ball from Henry Higbee.
Beautiful ball, good vision to see that opportunity. Now we've got the Wolverines breaking, and that's Casey Smith.
They've got the guy out wide.
And that is Raul Hernandez, the super sophomore, coming in. We've had one sophomore score for him. We'll see if Hernandez can make something happen here. But interception there by Vermillion to hold down the fort for Panthers to avoid that potential counterattack. Got a bunch of subs coming in. It looks like we got Rafael Fricker coming back in, Chime Tope coming back in, Joey Kurtzinger and Raul Hernandez heading out.
You can see Fricker and Tope right there on screen. 2 seniors.
Nice throw in to Casey Smith. Casey's been, as we talked about earlier, a good game for him, able to create some opportunities for the Wolverines off that left side. Here come the Panthers, though, again, and they're ready to try and put something at Matthew Meyer, the senior goalkeeper. They'll push that one out, and we'll have our a corner kick
here
for the Panthers. And
you see Hancock is making his way over to take that free kick.
We've seen some dangerous situations out of these corners, and these set pieces a lot of times are the make it and break it for teams, especially as we get later in the season.
Just got another text from Daniel Rogers. It looks like the Lady Panthers are losing 4-0 to Great Crossing.
Just from that score, Bo, this is a good game for Frankfort, the girls' side. That Great Crossing team is very talented, and Daniel Rogers has got his team ready to play, it sounds tonight, staying within reach of the Great Crossing girls team that coming in as the number 1 seed in the 41st District Girls Tournament.
That was cleared out. Looks like we'll have another corner kick.
Yeah, it's one of those replays. Almost the exact same scenarios here. They're going to look like they're going to try and go short.
They like to go short.
Zach Hurst put a stop to that.
They drug that defender out, so they're going to go short.
Try
to go with that near post, and it's a big clearance from Fricker.
And if that ball stays in, Wade Sutley had a head of steam, but it just drifts out of bounds. We've got 13:30 left in this second half, and if something doesn't happen, we'll be going to extra time. And
this is Reynolds. He's trying to cut it back, and it looks like we're going to have another corner kick.
the first time these two teams met up, it was extra time and then PKs. And this is shaping up to be a very similar scenario.
It's just insane how often these games end up like this, and it doesn't matter if one team's 20-0 and one team's 0-20. Right. They're always close games. Well, I think the kids just know each other so well.
Well, and what's interesting about these teams, a lot of these kids play pickup soccer together. So they're very, very close on and off the field, and it's just fun to see them competing at this level and with this intensity. And as we said, this has been a very clean game. The games that we've had this year, we've not seen a whole lot of issues as far as hard fouls, things like that. We're just seeing good old soccer, and it's a pleasure to watch it. That's Zach Hirsch trying to find Kenyon Thomas for another opportunity. Eddie Nafor chipping it, trying to find a friend, but none to be found. The Panthers now have the ball, and they're going to look to streak
Play
down
that ball
the side.
In behind. That's Tyron Reynolds trying to chase it down.
And that's going to be a foul.
He's going to get called for a foul. That was a little probably unneeded. He could have probably earned a corner kick at minimum there of just pressuring.
That was Casey Smith hustling back from that left wing. And, if you're Coach Mangum, you love to see those forwards coming back and playing a little defense. That's Raphael Fricker in the middle of the pitch trying to get the ball up, trying to find Kenyon Thomas or Eddie Nafor, who's on the tip of the spear right now. Baylor Brooker reads that, comes in, makes contact with Ethan Vermillion, and it'll be a foul on the Wolverines. Panthers will get a restart here on the left side of the pitch. Quick restart by Vermillion.
Looking for Barber there. Out to Hancock.
Hancock can be dangerous from that distance, and that shot just goes wide. We're down to 11:20 in this second half in a 1-1 battle in this 41st District Soccer matchup. Don't forget, we have a great second game coming up at 8:30 unless we get pushed back even further because of this one, and that's going to be Great Crossing, the number 1 seed, against the Franklin County Flyers, the number 4 seed.
This is Vermillion. He plays the ball back there to Carpenter, who I think was looking for Barber, but his touches got away from him. And
Sutley to Nafor, passes back to Raphael Fricker, trying to spin the ball back, but Wolverines look a little discombobulated right now with their passing attack. They're hanging on to possession, but
they're playing they're definitely going a little bit more direct.
But
it's worked. They're just trying to put pressure on the Panthers. This is Vermillion getting it out wide to Reynolds. He plays the ball down line. This is Nathan Neal.
And another good read by Jock Caldwell playing that center back position. And
very nicely done. Connects it there with Smith. And he was trying to find a 4, but this is McLean Barber to Gritton, back to Barber. He goes back to Gritton, and you got Josh Lumpkins coming over.
Josh Lumpkins closing that down and making a good play to get the ball out of danger for the Wolverines. Throw in by Barber. Wolverines looking to set up something with a long kick, and it's ball.
That's a good ball in behind. That's Reynolds, and he pounds
it in.
He pounds it into the top of the net. That ball was played from Henry Higbee. Here's the replay. Nice little flick header from senior Nathan Neal, and then Tyron Reynolds just top shelves it, and there was nothing Matthew Meyer could do.
Yeah, he was able to beat Zach Hurst on that back post, and Frankfort grabs the lead here as we're running down in this second half. It's 9 minutes and 41 seconds.
Let's take another look at that if we can. I know we're getting play, and maybe we won't have time there. I just wanted to that senior Nathan Neal flick was
that was outstanding,
tremendous. And here we go. You see it. That little flick just created a little space for Reynolds,
and he blasts that home.
He did. His angle was not good at all, and so 9.5 minutes left, 2-1.
And this has been a great match. We'll see if the Wolverines can come up off the canvas after that knockout punch by Reynolds. And
they have done it before.
Got to throw in here for the Wolverines. Time's running out. We've got 9 minutes and 17 seconds. Chinmay Tope bringing the ball in, trying to find a friend, and he loses the ball. The Wolverines now on the defensive
That's
side.
Vermillion looking for Nathan Neal, and again, just really good defending there. Is that Tope?
That's Tope with those quick feet making that play. We got Lucas Nance back into the game, who set most of this game with a bad ankle, trying to find someone.
Looks like we're going to have a substitution for the Panthers. Number 8, Colby Craycraft is going to give Nathan Neal a break. Nathan just gave them some really good minutes and got an assist on that goal, which as it stands right now is the difference.
Yeah, as I said, we got Lucas Nance who re-entered, and he replaced the goal scorer, Kenyon Thomas. Jimmy Tope trying to find Raphael Fricker, and he is surrounded by Panthers and loses the ball. Wolverines are fighting, just trying to maintain possession, but the Panthers are playing a little bit of keep away now as they have a 2-1 lead. The ball goes out of bounds. Wolverines will have a throw in. Time is their enemy at this point. We got 7:45 left in the second half. Frankfort High up 2-1. Jimmy Tope will be trigger man on that throw in. Panthers take it away, and they'll reset their offense. Another deep, long ball, and, there's Reynolds again streaking onto it, fighting Hirsch for the ball and able to win it. Jack Caldwell comes over to clear it.
I think he's going to earn a corner kick. And, I will say that it's not normally their style, but Higbee has played 3 or 4 balls into that mix. He played one earlier to Hancock, and the touch was just off. He played the one in on that goal, and then there you see him trying to release Reynolds. And so maybe that's something – Coach Kennedy kind of mentioned about let's try to take some shots and get in behind them.
And I think Reynolds' speed is just causing a lot of problems for those Wolverines on that back left.
This is Vermillion. He got Hurst coming over.
Down to 6:45 in this second half and fighting for it, and the Wolverines are coming out with it. Looks like we got a foul there.
That's going to be a foul on Vermillion. We talk about gamesmanship all the time. It's tough. It's going to be tough to break off 6.5 minutes in the corner. So they're going to have to continue to play. This is Craycraft with pressure, and well done again by by Western Hills. I've done so many games this year.
You're losing your teams.
I don't even have a clue sometimes. It's just like my 4th, 5th game in a week. This is Hancock. Little awkward bounce there. I think it had a weird spin on it, but
yeah, and. Matthew Meyer looking to get the ball out, trying to go deep, trying to find a Wolverine, but he's kicking right into the teeth of the Panther defense, and they'll win it as there's only 3 Wolverines up at that depth.
That was Ashton Austin, and the ball goes out of play for a throw-in here. Brooker plays it quick. That's Fricker.
Fricker tries to put it on. See Lucas Nance winning the ball here, and
that's going to go off him, a little unlucky. He's not happy with that call, but I think it was the right call.
I think that's a very accurate call.
We happen to be right here in front of it. Mm-hmm. And we've got our trusty cameraman, Jason Gilbert, and so he gives us the close-up shot.
Got the throw-in coming in from the Panthers, and Ethan Vermillion just looking to maintain possession. Wolverines are pressing every chance they get, but
heavy touch there from Higbee, so he just has to clear.
And that's the thing for the Panthers now. When they get in danger, they're just trying to get the ball out of this final third for the Wolverines. And, the one thing that I can tell you is the Panthers are trying to counter, and if they could get one more goal here, it would definitely seal the deal. But the Wolverines are still breathing at this moment.
It's a good step there by Gilbert. He's got Craycraft. He's under pressure. He plays the ball into Gilbert. I think he's onside. He's cutting it back in.
That's good defending, but you're going to have a shot right here.
And that deflects off of a Western Hills defender. I think that was Brooker with the deflection.
And we're down to 4.5 minutes. Time is ticking away on the Western Hills Wolverines season, and they're going to have to pull some magic out of their hat if they're going to go on in this 41st District Soccer matchup. Panthers taking the corner kick, and they're going to take their time in setting this up.
Yeah, I think you expect to see them go short. They like to get Vermillion in these little 1v1 situations where he gets to make a decision. This is Barber. He's looking for his brother, the other Barber, and
shot's going to drift out of bounds.
Again, that's another one of those situations where he's outside the box. Very dangerously played there by goalkeeper Meyer.
But somehow, some way, he survives it, and he's able to put the ball out. Once again, the Panthers with a lot of bodies behind that ball, and Wolverines are really struggling to make something happen here.
That's a good little win there from Tope, and I've really been impressed with him. Last Saturday and tonight, we didn't get to see him as much early in the year because he was fighting a little hamstring or knee injury.
Yeah, and, he's always had a good touch, good footwork, and tried to find Kenyon Thomas on that left wing, and ball just drifts out of bounds. Ball's thrown in, and Wolverines have possession again, but they lose it to the Panthers. Getting a little bit broken plays here, but we'll see what happens in this last 3 minutes.
Vermillion on the ball. He's inviting pressure. I'm not really sure what was going on there.
Wolverines just scrapping, trying to get the ball going for their offensive movement, but at this point the Panthers are controlling it.
I will say that Henry Higbee was part of that. He and Sam Yoakum combined for that dreadful back pass, but he has had a really solid game and, again, had a couple nice balls into space.
That was Fricker trying to run on that pass from Thomas, but the ball just drifts out of bounds. Time is running out for the Wolverines on this 2020 COVID season, and we'll have to see some shots on goal if we're going to be able to keep this game going much longer.
That ball trickles through. Is Yoakum going to get there? He will, and I expect
He's just going to hang on, let the clock tick until somebody forces him to pick it up. And little gamesmanship there from Yoakum to make sure that the Wolverines were applying pressure before he picked it up for this goal kick, or the goal punt. Yoakum punts it, and Brooker is the one that touches it first. And the Wolverines are trying to maintain possession, but right now, they're hopes and prayers with these passes. They're just kind of throwing it up in hopes that it'll run on someone. And here's somebody that's running on the ball. That's Reynolds again.
That's Reynolds again. He cuts it inside. He's looking far post to Gritton. Don't think he's going to get there, and he's also not going to chase that ball down. But
we're at that point on this field. There's always a ball ready to be put back in play, and Jack Caldwell's going to swing on that one and try and put it up past midfield. Baylor Brooker will be able to control it and get it to Tope. Time is running. We're down to 90 seconds. That's Raul Hernandez trying to find someone. They push the ball up in front to Kenyon Thomas, trying to get on that end of that ball. And, he made a slide, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I thought Ethan Carpenter might try to just shield that out for a goal kick, but I think the pressure from Thomas made him a little uncomfortable. So
we're down to 66 seconds now, and we'll see what happens in these last waning moments of the Wolverines season. They're down 2-1, and desperation times. We'll see if we start seeing them push more and more numbers up top in hopes of trying to get that game-tying goal. Throw in by the Panthers. Right now, they just have to try and kill this off, and ball's out of bounds. It'll go back to the Panthers.
It's going to be a throw-in. This is Gilbert, and he's going to look over the top.
We're down to the last 30 seconds, but Wolverines playing with no sense of urgency here. Meyer's going to try and push the ball up, trying to find someone, and he finds a Panther.
It's McLean Barber. Good header there from Tope. Yeah, these last few minutes of these games, it gets so raggedy. You got one team just fighting. You got the other team just defending for their life. And there's very little passing going on at this point.
Yeah, it's more the kickball-esque of
and again,
soccer.
Vermillion getting caught.
That's got to be a foul, and that's going to stop the clock.
It could be a card, and I think that's going to do it, though.
We're down to the last seconds, and the Western Hills season comes to an end. And, they had 15 seniors at the start of this season, and it was a great year.
Well, let's do something. Let's take a quick break. I want to recognize those young men that were seniors, so let's take a quick break. And we'll come back and just put a cap on this, recap the game, and then just highlight some of these seniors from Western Hills. Thank you for watching the Bluegrass Sports Network.
The people of Frankfort are ready for growth in our community. We need strong leaders who can help bring real changes to our city. Kyle Thompson is ready for the challenge. He's a strong supporter of law enforcement and wants to provide proper funding for our police and emergency services to reduce crime rates. Kyle also plans to work in cooperation with the county to revitalize our parks. It is important to provide for the well-being of all of our Frankfort families. Kyle is ready to take on all of this and more. Make your voice heard and vote Kyle Thompson for City Commission.
Visit Lex by default is community focused. We're here to stimulate the economy locally and keep our hospitality industry running. When we made the switch to traditional bank, it was so easy. We're treated like we are the biggest client that traditional has. They're our neighbors, they're in our community, they're with us side by side. I'm Patricia Knight, Vice President of Finance and Operations with Visit Lex, and we're a community partner of Traditional Bank.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
Welcome back, folks. Bo Craycraft here, joined by Brad Thomas, and we're at Great Crossing High School, where we just completed game 1 of night 1. Heartbreak City for Western Hills once again. They lose 2-1, same score as earlier in the year to the Frankfort High Panthers. Late goal by Tyron Reynolds off a little flick header from senior Nathan Neal. And it's the tiniest of margins in these games,
right.
And that's what it proved to be again this year.
You know, and Western Hills gave a valiant effort, but just came up short. And, you know, from a possession standpoint, I think the Panthers won this game. And Western Hills was able to put one in late to look like this game was going to go into extra time, but then Tyron Reynolds, after a great pass, blasts home the win for the Frankfort Panthers, and they make it to the championship game on Thursday night and also win a golden ticket to the regional tournament.
They punch a ticket to the Region 11. This will be the second straight year for Coach K's crew. On the other side, you know, Coach Mangum did a great job this year. 15 seniors, and last game of their high school career. I know there's several that'll probably play at the next level, but I'd love to highlight. I know it'll take us a minute to do 15 seniors, but could you just give us a good recap on that group?
You know, those seniors, 15 seniors that have had a great career at Western Hills. They go out with the best record of Chad Mangum's career. They end up 7-4-2 on the season. And as you look over them, you had the injuries that we talked about. We had Lincoln Maddox on at halftime, one of the seniors. You had Craig Badger, who was not with the team tonight as a senior. You got Jack Caldwell there talking with his friends, and a great senior who's had a wonderful career here. You got Raphael Fricker, who had the game of his life just a few weeks ago, coming out and giving a good effort tonight. You had Zach Hurst, who's on this team and played left back after Lincoln Maddox went down. You had Henry Hoffman, who didn't make an appearance tonight, but a great contributor to this team, along with Braden Lambert. Casey Smith, who had a great game. And, you know, as we start talking about the players and the efforts, you can't go very far without talking about Matthew Meyer, senior goalkeeper, 4-year player for the Wolverines, and had a great game, just unable to keep out that Reynolds shot late, and really he had no chance at that one.
And I'm just going to make the call. Is that all the seniors, or you still got?
No, I'm still going. We got Jake Miracle and Eddie Nafor and Stefan Rudich, who came up big for his team. Casey Smith, who played excellent soccer tonight. Tyler Smith, who was unable to get into the game. Caleb Stratton, who had a good showing for the team. And then Wade Sutley, who had a great season and career for Western Hills. And when you have 15 seniors, it takes a while to run through them, Bo.
It does, but I appreciate you doing that, because that's what we want to do. We want to showcase these young people. We got a minute left. Bluegrass Energy Power Player of the Game. I'm kind of leaning towards that final finish. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to top a finish like that, and Tyron Reynolds really put one home to drive the Panthers to the championship game. And, when you talk about finishes, that was his FIFA PlayStation-esque type finish, because that's one that he'll remember for the rest of his life.
He will. That was the difference maker. With that, Brad, again, another successful game. I'm going to take a break for this next game. We've got a special guest, so I'll let you introduce him later when we come back on air. maybe I'll see you on Thursday night, correct? We'll call the games in the finals night, and so looking forward to that. But for Bo Craycraft,
Brad Thomas,
we thank you for watching the Bluegrass Sports Network. We will jump off air for probably about a half an hour as we recycle into Game 2, and we'll be back with the number 1 seed Great Crossing facing the Franklin County Flyers. Thank you for watching the Bluegrass Sports Network.